Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's daily news highlights, and today is 3rd October 2024. Let's see what are the important news for today's discussion, and before that, if you have not yet subscribed this channel, please subscribe the channel so that you will continue to get update regarding civil services examination and current affairs. 56 years after IAF plane crash, the body of soldier to be handed over to extended family in Chamoli. So the body of Narayan Singh, a sepoy with the Army Medical Corps, will be returned to his ancestral village in Chamoli, Uttarakhand. He was one of the 102 passengers who perished in 1968 AN-12 plane crash. Okay, so this year is important. So this plane crash happened in the year 1968. So the body is recovered after 56 years. A joint Indian Army and Tiranga Mountain Rescue Team. So they were the people who were engaged in this operation, and they recovered the remains from the crash site 16,000 feet above sea level near Dhaka Glacier. Narayan was identified through his paybook found in his pocket. So it is not only Narayan, there are other victims also found in this incident. Malkhan Singh from Uttar Pradesh and Thomas Cherian from Kerala were also identified. So this is an important news from internal security aspect. Based on this article, please try to have an idea about the location of this place, and also about the Tiranga Mountain Rescue Team and the Indian Army, because they were the one who were actually involved in this particular operation. This particular article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 3, and it's a part of internal security. India calls for restraint as attacks escalate in West Asia. So this is a news related to international relations, and India is deeply concerned about the escalation of violence in West Asia following Iran's missile attacks on Tel Aviv. The Ministry of External Affairs has called for restraint and emphasized addressing conflicts through dialogue and diplomacy to avoid regional escalation. So this is a very crucial situation happening, very dangerous situation also for the whole world. Okay, so that is the reason why India is taking a stand like this, and the Ministry of External Affairs has advised Indian citizens to avoid non-essential travel to Iran and remain vigilant. There are around 4,000 Indian nationals in Iran, and the embassy in Tehran is monitoring the situation very closely. So Israel, which is engaged in a prolonged conflict with Hamas in Gaza, has also been hit by Iranian missile strikes. The Indian embassy in Tel Aviv has urged the Indian citizens to exercise caution, avoid unnecessary travel, and stay close to safety shelters. So very important article. So this is actually talking about the dangerous situation in the West Asian region, and it is not only these two countries are affected, the many other countries are also affected, and the people who are coming and living in that particular area from different parts of the world, they are also getting affected. So which means, as we are living in an international system, any problem which is happening in any area of the world will definitely affect the rest of the world also. So that is what is happening. So please read more about this particular article and try to understand the situation, try to understand the location also. What is the involvement of India? That is also really important. 2 women Navy officers begin voyage around the world. Another important and interesting news. The Lieutenant Commanders Dilna K and Rupa A of the Indian Navy embarked on a 23,000 nautical mile journey from Goa abroad, INSV Tharini. The 8-month Navika Sagar Parikrama will traverse 4 continents, 3 oceans, and 3 challenging capes. The collaborations and research. The expedition will support national scientific research, collaborating with the institutions like the National Institute of Oceanography to study marine microplastics and large sea mammals, and Sagar Defense for drones to capture visuals of the voyage. It's a very interesting news. So please read this news and try to understand more details about this particular news. And both officers have 38,000 nautical miles of sailing experience and spent over 3 years training in meteorology, seamanship, survival techniques, and Medicare at sea. So very interesting article. Read this article. This particular article is coming in page number 6. It's a part of General Studies 3, and we can consider it as coming under internal security. Inflection point. So this is an international relations article only, mainly talking about the West Asian crisis. So the Iran's October 1 ballistic missile attack on Israel escalates the multi-party West Asia conflict. The tensions heightened after Israel's earlier provocations, including strikes in Syria and Lebanon. Now the threat of further retaliation from both sides looms. So the situation is going out of hand when multiple countries are getting involved in this particular scenario, in this conflict against the Israel. The deterrence has collapsed as neither Israel's military superiority nor Iran's missile capabilities prevent further escalation. So we know a concept called deterrence, where it is also considered as a barrier for a war. Okay, but this deterrence was become a failure once we knew that both countries engaged in conflict. The deterrence is failed. The Israel's expansion of the war to Gaza, Lebanon and Iran intensifies the conflict with fears of a broader regional war involving multiple actors. So this is going to be a regional war because many countries are involved in this, which is a great threat for the entire world. So the absence of effective global leadership, particularly from the US, has worsened the situation. With no clear de-escalation path, world powers like the US and China must intervene diplomatically to prevent a full-scale regional war. So the global countries who are aspiring to make this world a peaceful one, they need to interfere into this situation. The international organization should interfere into the situation and make sure that it is not escalating into a full-scale regional war. So based on this article, you need to have an idea about what is the stand taken by India and how India can actually play a pivotal role in solving this particular issue. That is also really important. So this particular article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 2, International Relations, and many articles are there which is connected with this one in the West Asian crisis in our International Relations page. So please read all those articles. You will get an idea about the different perspectives of various countries and the various actions taken by other countries to counter this and also to escalate these issues. So please try to understand about it. China-Vietnam red diplomacy. The Vietnam-China political trust. The Vietnamese president's visit to China aims to revive historical comradeship between Mao Zedong and Ho Chi Minh, strengthening political trust amid Western pressures, particularly in the context of South China Sea tensions and the US engagement with Vietnam. So they wanted to revive the relation between both these countries. The Vietnam-China joint statement. The Vietnam and China reaffirmed their strategic cooperative partnership, emphasizing their commitment to building a shared future through ideological and economic cooperation, aligning to advance socialism despite occasional territorial disputes, and expanding collaboration in governance, trade and infrastructure. It is very important to have cooperation between countries because cooperation is the only solution for the conflict, and it can actually establish peace in the area. So here in the South China Sea area, we need to ensure peace in that area. Otherwise, this area will also come into problem like the West Asian region. So what is their economic partnership? So here the trade between China and Vietnam continues to grow, with China as Vietnam's largest import market and second largest export market. High-level visits and agreements strengthen their economic ties with China, ranking as a key investor in Vietnam's development. So China is playing a pivotal role as a key investor in the development of the Vietnam. So please try to understand about the relation between China and Vietnam, their historical ties. You need to have an idea, and also look at it from the perspective of India. What is India's role in this? How is our relation with China? How is our relation with Vietnam? You should also have an idea about. So this particular article is coming in page number 9, General Studies 2, and it's a part of international relations. What special status is Ladakh seeking? Another important article, which is a burning crisis in India. In our internal space, you can see that this is a burning crisis. So Ladakh's 6th schedule demand. Activist Sonam Wangchuk and others are demanding the inclusion of Ladakh under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, seeking greater autonomy to protect the region's indigenous culture and address local development needs. Very important. So they wanted to have that entry inclusion in the 6th schedule. So now the question is, what is 6th schedule? Then the 5th schedule applies to scheduled areas in 10 states with tribal advisory councils, and the 6th schedule grants more autonomy to tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura through autonomous district council. So they wanted the entry to this 6th schedule. Please read more about it. It is there in Indian Constitution in the 6th schedule and the 5th schedule. You will get more details about it. Now, about the British influence on autonomy. The excluded and the partially excluded areas under the Government of India Act 1935 were precursors to the 5th and the 6th schedule. So this particular idea of 5th and 6th schedule was actually introduced or was actually influenced by the activities of the British administration. And it is actually defined to safeguard tribal regions from external interference while maintaining British administrative control. Okay, that was the intention of the Britishers, but later when we got independence, we actually made it as 5th and 6th schedules, separate schedules, so that we can include the 10 states in the 5th schedule and 4 important states in the 6th schedule. Okay, so now you should also understand about what are the other states which are actually demanding these kinds of inclusions. You need to have an idea about it. Okay, so read this article, understand more about it, and understand the constitutional provisions which are connected with their demands, and make your own notes regarding this. This is very important. This is a very crucial topic. And what are the states which are demanding such kind of inclusions in India? That also you need to have an idea. So this particular article is coming in page number 10, General Studies 2, and it's a part of Indian polity. Okay, so these are some of the important articles. We need to look at it from the perspective of civil services examination, and apart from that, there are many other articles also. Please go through those articles, especially international relations page. There are many articles which are connected with the West Asian crisis, the West Asian conflict. So please do try to have an idea about it. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was helpful for you, please do share it with your friends so that they will also continue to get updates regarding civil services examination and current affairs. And don't forget to download IPM IAS application, because in the IPM IAS application you will get many courses which will be helpful for you in the civil services preparation, especially the PCM course for 2025 and 2026. If you are an aspirant who is actually thinking about writing the civil service examination, the ideal course for you is 2026 PCM course. It is available in the application. Please go and check what is there inside that. Thank you so much.